Full girl. What do you want to talk about? Crystal and Kathy?
Yeah, you want to wrap it up there?
Sure.
Crystal and Cass. Well, it's just interesting, right? Crystal, of course, saved we talked about this on a past episode, but Crystal, I have no idea why, but now is talking about the falling out with her 14 friends instead of actually getting into detail on the reality show that might have saved her job. But anyhow, she's talking about it
Well, she
now.
has a podcast, darling. She has a
Oh,
podcast.
humble brag.
Ooh, yes.
And so the just to get everybody back on the same page, Crystal says she had these 14 friends. One of the friends was heavily courted to be on RHOBH several years ago. But the husband was like, The husband pulled, he pulled the purse strings and he said, nope, I'm shutting it down. And Crystal seemed to advise the friend to go along with that. Stick with the husband. It's not worth it. Don't do it. And then 2 or 3 years later, Crystal was approached, signs on the dotted line, tells the friend group, by the way, I'm going to be on RHOBH. And that was it. The friend was pissed the F off because how could this good girlfriend of mine give me the advice? Don't do it. Don't go against your husband. Don't push. And then she takes the gig. It almost seems like, right? She probably got the information, pitched herself to producers, and here we go. So that friend, hell hath no fury like a woman scorned, really rallied the troops, got all the friends to not be friends with her, except for Kathy Hilton. Because the group called Kathy and they said, Kath, Cristal is a snake in the grass. And Kath said, no, no, that is not the woman I know. That's not the person I know. And that's why Crystal Kung Minkoff is incredibly loyal to our girl, Kath. She says that she had many lunches at the Polo Lounge with Kath, and Kath gave her advice on how to get back with the friends, to call them, to apologize. And Crystal has tried, but they are not interested. But Kath couldn't be swayed.
They're not interested. You want to know what's
What?
really funny? When I ran into Lisa Rinna, remember I ran into Lisa Rinna like a few months
Yes.
ago? I don't know how this came, but she implied that. I think because it was right when Crystal dropped her podcast, and Lisa was like, oh, I mean, I would ever do a podcast talking about housewives. I said, no, you've moved on. Like you're an icon, Rena. And she was like, basically like, well, I mean, we all know Crystal's a fame whore. So we're gonna call Crystal a fame whore. And we had her run in, and I'm like, I get it. So I thought that was interesting. So I think that's like stuck in my mind because when Rena speaks, I shut the fuck up and listen because she is a true icon. By the way, Amelia, have you seen Amelia Gray's ads where she's sitting there and she eats that purse? She says, "Eat my poochie." These ads for
Yeah,
Poochie
yeah.
are bravo, Lisa, bravo, Amelia, brilliant. Kathy's that bitch. You don't tell Kathy Hilton who to be fucking friends with. All of you 14, or which I guess it's really seven, they say, could turn on Crystal. But Kathy, if Kathy likes you, she likes you. You don't tell Kathy Hilton what to fucking do. That's what I took away from that story.
Mm.
Now, Crystal also said some other things on this podcast of hers. She said something like that she got Kathy on the show, or Kathy did the show because of her, or was it the opposite? Because I was like, honey, I don't know. I think at one point I read something where she said, well, Kathy asked me for advice, and Kathy's like, well, I know you, so like, why not do it? Maybe it was the other way around where she was like, because I think she said at one point, Lion King man said, well, if it's good enough for Kathy Hilton, it's good enough for you. I don't know which way it is. I just was like, at one point, I was like, Crystal, Kathy Hilton did not do, she has a sister on the show that apparently is the queen of the show and everyone bows down to her. I don't know.
Interesting. Okay. I don't know either, but that's a interesting fact.
I don't know. How is that podcast doing? Anyone listening to that still? Humble brag, as you like to say.
Well, I
Which,
did find I haven't listened, but I did have there was a hilarious clip of Cynthia Bailey getting dumped by a billionaire. That was really funny. She went on like
yes,
one of those
she
dating
was
sites.
dumped by a
Yeah.
billionaire, and she apparently herself decided she wasn't interested in Lenny Kravitz, I think is what's come out of her ridiculous mouth. How is Lenny Kravitz celibate for like 10 years or whatever he said it was?
Well, I
I
wouldn't
mean,
be interested. Like if Lenny Kravitz hit me up, but he was like, I'm going on year 11 of not. having any penetration. I'd be like, peace. Like, I mean, I like to the, okay, I
Well,
kind of
you
get
and
that one.
Cynthia are in your own group then, sweetie, because I think
You're gonna
most
try to
people
get with
listening,
him. He hasn't had sex with anyone in 9 years. You think the guy doesn't have offers? You're gonna stick around. What are you gonna do with him?
I'll do anything he wants for however short or long he wants. I mean, I don't need to ask any other questions.
Well, he apparently doesn't want to have sex. So what are you hanging around? You want to hang out with him as a friend? I don't need any more friends. Sorry.
Well, I don't,
Okay,
how
right.
could you not have sex for like 10 years? I don't know.
Exactly. Exactly. That's like one of the joys of life.
Uh,
Like who is doing that voluntarily? Like
I don't
that's
know.
he says that he's got some other issues going on. I don't want to hang out with that. I got enough of my own problems. You think I want to be with a friend that needs and I
I
got you.
mean, you
Although you're
couldn't
actually
be.
pretty easy. You're a good friend. You're an easy friend. You're like, let's go to dinner. Like,
I
okay,
just
that's
want a martini. I just want a martini. That's all
I
I
know you
want in
take care of
life.
yourself. You're like such a great friend, but I don't need any friends in my life like calling me up celibate. You know he's probably got some weird meditation routine.
Yes, yes, all that
He's
shit.
pumpkin seeds. And he's running a colonic up his ass for 3 hours. Like, I don't want to deal with any of that.
All
I'm
that
with
shit.
Cynthia on that one.
Wow. Well, I don't know. I wish their podcast well. Mia and Kiki Palmer had a little thing.
Oh,
Let's see
that was
how the reunion is. Andy Cohen says Karen is there, even though she's not there. Let's see. Let's see what happens with the Grand Dame in Potomac. Sarah's given jobs to everyone. She sees Bryn coming back to New York. She sees the Grand Dame coming. You see all casts staying the same, which is, hey, I don't know anything. I don't listen to me. I'm usually wrong.
I just think, I mean, they can say what they want, but Roni's hanging by a thread. They're gonna cut, but I don't know. They cut Candy Gal. They cut our Candace from Potomac. They cut
Yeah.
our Candy Gal. So maybe, and I think we are in the era of fighting over a cheese plate. I think we're keeping it light. I think they want background noise. It's like talk shows now. Can you remember the last significant thing that Drew Barrymore or Jennifer Hudson show or is Sherry Shepard still on?
Yes, she is.
Okay. They don't want you to remember a thing. They want background noise. What's
You
something you
know
can
what we would
pop in?
remember? Do you want to know what Sherry Shepard should do? I mean, I don't know. Her show could be very highly rated. Sherry Shepard should lean in as hard as possible to everything going on with Miss Williams and just cover Wendy. Like, not, you could have
Oh.
guests. She should make the Wendy part of her show every week and just talk to Charlemagne the God and everyone Wendy has talked to. She should have Wendy call in. I don't think Wendy really wants to talk to her, but right? I mean, she's the replacement for Wendy Williams, so that is the successor. She should lean into the Wendy thing.
How you doing? How you doing?
Wendy is a fucking
I know she was a badass.
goddess. Yep.
All right, hold on. I think I have to go deal with something with my uncle.
Sarah's got real issues going on. Life is, as I say, Sarah, life is brutal. Life is brutal.
Life
We
is
have
beautiful. Please, by all, please go to acorns.com/TSFS. Just $3 a day. You can leave your loved ones in a financial situation that is not like what my uncle has done. Okay. Do not die and leave your kids.